Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. All right, let's go. Let's go. All right, we're live. Okay. I totally forgot about this Friday live, but we're here. We're here. I'm actually excited about this live. Welcome everybody to the Friday live. Welcome back. Very excited to be doing this because last night was quite an amazing time. It was quite an amazing event that I hosted. It was the very first founders dinner that I did. But along with that, it's been a pretty amazing week as well. And that's the reason for these lives. I want to sort of take you behind the scenes, take you sort of into some of the things that are going on. And there are a lot of things going on. And I learned a lot yesterday about the ability to make a lot of money with a lot of minimal effort, believe it or not. Man, my hair is crazy, man. And I want to share some of that stuff with you guys. And there's also some stuff that I shared that I'm happy to share with you guys as well that really occurred in the mastermind. Also, some of the things that we discussed in regards to if you have a service business on how you could ultimately productize that business. Obviously, the mastermind that we have, it's all public adjusters. I will let you know, we are in the process of potentially growing another coaching group for anybody else involved in business to really scale your company to multiple millions of dollars. And it's something that we are putting together as well. That we don't have any members quite yet, but we may have a potential already to have about 2 or 3 members that are going to be coming in. And I've got a plan for that as well. I'm very excited about the Public Adjuster Mastermind, though, because we also switched some things up. We had a meeting. One thing that I will tell you that's very important to do when you have any kind of product, when you have any kind of services, make sure you do a survey with your customers to make sure that, they actually have an understanding or that you have an understanding of what they like, what they don't like, so on and so forth. So, all right. Well, for those of you that don't know, I'm sure you probably do. My name is Vince Perri. Public adjuster for the last 16 years, entrepreneur, scaled a couple of businesses, one to multiple millions of dollars and another one to well beyond 6 figures. The 6-figure one is the Commercial Claims Advocate, which is basically a consulting and coaching group, coaching company for public adjusters throughout the country that I'm very, very proud of, that I believe is going to continue to scale and continue to grow. So we'll definitely keep doing that. Rich, greetings, my friend. And I'm here to really make an impact. I'm here to make an impact as much as possible to anyone and everyone. Those of you that are in my circle, it's been like a whole different ball game over the last year, over the last even just 6 months. You know, they say it takes hitting rock bottom to really realize sort of what you're all about. And that's basically my story. 2022, 2023 was a really, really rough year. We scaled the company rather large and we did well for a while, but then eventually it just became just too overwhelming. And we had to go backwards. It became so overwhelming to the point where we scaled like crazy 10x, and then ultimately I almost went bankrupt as a result of it, and learned a lot of lessons. Had to seek some therapy, which helped a lot. Got some coaching, some real good coaching, and I've really, really turned it around. And I'm very, very excited about what's to come in the future. Like, it's going to be next level stuff. So what I want to do is just make an impact on as many people as possible. And I'm going to do that as often as I can. So, what I want to tell you about the Founders Dinner yesterday was what the Founders Dinner is. It's an opportunity to really get really like-minded individuals together. I have been known to put on a lot of events. We've put on over the last few years a lot of commercial claims advocate events, really geared towards bringing the industry of public adjusting together. It's not something I'm done with. It's definitely something that I'm going to continue. As a matter of fact, we do have a plan to have an Advocates United here before the end of the year. Likely it will be in November. It just takes a lot of planning, and we got to really dive into it. But it's going to be a little bit more than just public adjusters. I'm going to want to bring other business owners as well, entrepreneurs and people in other spaces. So you'll see the speakers and the way it's going to be set up. It's not just going to be a claims public adjuster event. There'll be a little bit of that, but I really want to start to bring in as many people as possible that are really struggling with their business. And the Founders Dinner is basically, the idea is a group of hustlers, entrepreneurs, but also people who have done it. So it's not just, hey, I'm just starting out and I'm an entrepreneur and I want to grow something. And it's not even like, hey, I'm struggling I can't figure stuff out. It's more like everyone's struggling, obviously a little bit. Just entrepreneurship in general is very, very difficult. But I'm trying to put a room together of people that have done it, right? Because for me, I think when you bring a group of people that have actually done it, that have actually quote unquote succeeded, that have taken their companies to well beyond 6 and 7 and 8 figures, you put a group like that together. Let me tell you something, Sal. I see you just joined. It is fucking electrifying. It is electrifying. When can we see another Public Adjuster podcast? I don't know. We'll see. Do I have any public adjusters coming up? I don't think so. I don't think I do. But 314 drone service, you are more than welcome to shoot me a message. And I would advise you, if you are a public adjuster, to come on, and I will personally invite you to a session of our group coaching mastermind program. And I promise that you won't be disappointed. So if you don't reach out to me, I will reach out to you. So last night was insane. Like, it was just electrifying, man. Just great conversations. And like, I learned so much. I learned so much about the capabilities. Like, you hear about it from the Tony Robbins, the Dan Martells, and the Gary V's, and how they've been able to scale and multiple millions and tens of millions and this and that. And you just sort of like sit and think, you're just like, how does that, how? And yesterday we got a lot of the how. And yesterday is not just the how, but it's like the people that were in the room that were also like explaining how they do it and how you can do it with really little money down, and how you could borrow and hard money lending and this and that and fix and flip. And it's just like cash upon cash upon cash. A cool concept that I heard where if you can buy something, you can borrow money to buy something of value, and then you make a profit off of that. You obviously, with the profit, you pay off whatever it is that you borrow. And then with that little bit of money, you borrow again, buy something else, right? Make money, pay off. And then after about 4 or 5 of these large purchases, and by the way, it could be cars too. One of the guys there, he buys and leases luxury cars. Luxury cars. Like, I'm talking, that's the reason why we were in the Rolls Royce. It was his car. If you look at my story, you'll see that I was in a Rolls Royce yesterday. First time I've ever been in a Rolls Royce, not going to lie. And it was pretty badass. And you buy and sell, let's say 5 or 6 cars. You've now made enough profit to buy your own car. Same thing with houses. You borrow, you buy, you profit, borrow, buy, profit, borrow, buy, profit. You end up making enough money to buy your own. So, and just the way they do it, the way they talked about it, it's just like, it's so easy. It just happens. And it's pretty amazing. On top of that, just learning sort of how easy it is really to just double, triple, quadruple, and just go 10x, which, by the way, somebody mentioned the book last night. 10x is better than 2x. That's my former coach, Dan Sullivan. One of the best books around. I strongly recommend 10x is easier than 2x. So besides the ease of actually going 10x very quickly, then it's also just being in the room of the like-minded individuals that sort of really just energize you, excite you, and make you also want to continue and go on to the next level. And then what happens is, like in the book, Think and Grow Rich, there is a chapter just on mastermind. When you get a group of individuals like this together, it just becomes, it's just a whole growth thing, man. It's how you ultimately, you are the 5 people that you surround yourself with. You hear it over and over again, but it's the fucking truth. Like, it is what it is. I mean, that's exactly it. And I will tell you now, the 7 of us definitely share a bond, because the dinner was set from 7 to 9. I looked at the clock thinking, hey, how much time do we have left? And it was 8:55. And I could have sworn it was like 7:55. Like, the time was up. Obviously we stayed. I think we probably stayed out till about 10:30, literally just talking. And it was just an overall great event. Not even an event. It was just literally a dinner. It was conversations. It wasn't coaching. It wasn't pitching. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. Although I didn't expect what was going to happen from it, or what would come about, or how it would go. The main purpose of it is I didn't want it to be just a pitch fest. It was not. It was just a group of real like-minded individuals, high net worth individuals as well. Like I said, that have been there, that have done it, that have made the mistakes, that have had the successes. Sorry, I'm on my phone on Instagram here, and this thing keeps up. And when you do that, shout out to So if you guys want to learn how to do that, there's a great book that was recommended to me. I mean, I got the idea from Dan Martell. He does them all over the country. I tend to do a little bit of, I used to do a lot more traveling, but one thing that I'm going to do, what up, EJ? Shoot me a message, my man. I tend to do a lot of traveling. I did more before. But one thing that he does is he travels the whole world, and anywhere he goes, he puts on one of these founders dinners to continue to meet different people from all over the country. It's definitely what I'm going to do. The next founders dinner, if anyone is interested, again, it's got to be, there is a selection process. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I'm going to be picky. It's got to be people who've done it, who've been there, who are just hustlers, entrepreneurs, all that stuff. You're talking usually investors, people in finance, people in real estate. That's kind of like, obviously, we all know some of the richest people, real estate. So that tends to be that. That tends to be the people you get. But I want the quote unquote successful people. Judge me. I don't care. Say what you want. But this is what I'm going for. Right. So, again, I've been mentioning it a little bit more and more. But I also mentioned it to the mastermind. I am a business broker. So yes, I am a public adjuster. I am a public adjuster coach in the mastermind. And I am also a business broker. And one thing that I have really leaned into here in 2025 is not just the brokering of deals, but it's also the mergers and acquisition side. And I need to put myself, and I want to put myself in rooms, in situations where people are also sort of in the same mindset of what they want to do. And it's like all about just scaling. The 10X thing is just, that's just where it's at. And if you want to get, in that, if you are at all interested in getting in that mindset and getting in that sort of like sphere thing, like send me a message. You got to join the mastermind. It's next level. And honestly, I was just talking to Jeremy Lavelle about it earlier. It's not expensive. It may seem expensive, and we've changed some things around where I think it could be a lot more affordable for you. So like, I mean, anybody that's on here now, we've got a few people here watching. Like, if you're at all even thinking about it on the fence, like, just take the leap, take the jump, because the mindset that I'm in right now is it's pretty insane. Like, the mindset that I'm in right now, it's 10X, it's multiple millions of dollars. It's on my way. And there's like no doubt, like, my goals are there, hitting them every single time. Boom, boom, one, bam. Thank you, ma'am. So if you are offended by that at all, that I'm looking for high net worth individuals to have dinner with, then by all means get offended or become one. It's as simple as that. But if you also want to get there, I have the means to get you there. I have the process. I have the framework to ultimately get you there. So I'm very excited about the very first founders dinner. The second one is definitely going to be in Tampa. I mean, unless I travel somewhere, then I'll just make that another reason to set one up. I've been trying to get into the right room for a while. Hit me up. Ant Firm, hit me up. Shoot me a message. If the room is not the founders dinner, then the room, my friend, is the mastermind. I'm telling you, the mastermind is how you level up. And really, it comes from my experience and comes from everything. Headed to my next meeting. Looking forward to hanging out again. Thank you, Sal. It was a great freaking meeting you in person. Sal right there. If you see him on the comment, you're going to want to message him. He doesn't have enough content on social media, but he posts stories and stuff. And again, dude, this guy's the man. I mean, multiple $1 million roofing and construction company that is just next level. So yeah, great to have him in the room as well. And just smart, dude, you're so smart, man. And what you know about real estate and mergers and acquisitions as well was so cool to learn. So yeah, to answer again, I already answered that. And the mastermind is a private group of entrepreneurs, public adjusters. It's public adjusters, but it's also going to go into just general entrepreneurs who really want to scale their business and go next level in their business and in their life. And the reason why I'm able to do that now is not just from my experiences, not just from my successes, not just from my failures, but also from the fact that I spent tens of thousands. Is it tens of thousands? It's definitely thousands, probably tens of thousands. Yeah, definitely tens of thousands, because I was part of Strategic Coach for 3 years. I'm part of Dan Martell's group now for a year. I was also part of what else was I a part of? EO for a while. Like, I've gotten a lot of coaching. I had a business coach for a while, spending money on that every month. And then the hundreds of books that I read, guys, it's just too much. And then just the mindset switch. 2025 was a big mindset switch for me of really making an impact on everyone else. So that's why. I don't know if that made sense. Shoot me a message. If not, I will shoot you a message without a doubt. So, yeah, it was just an amazing thing. So if you're at all interested in the Founders Dinner, the next one will be in Tampa. I don't know if I'll do it in June, but it ain't definitely gonna, I'm not going to wait more than 2 months to put on another one. I'll likely, because I do all the legwork right now. As I grow something, I always do all the legwork first. The brokering side of the business that I'm doing now, I'm doing everything. I have admins that can help me, but I refuse to have them help me. I need to be the one that create the marketing material right now, create the process and how to save all the leads that come in. With that said, I need to announce this more. If you guys are at all interested in actually acquiring a business, I do have a listing that is for sale. It is a pest control business in Florida, a pest control company in Florida. If anybody's interested in that, yeah, shoot me a message. It's going for about mid six figures. And mid-level six figures on what the sales price is. And if you're interested at all, and if you live in the Central Florida area, I can't give you too much information until you actually sign an NDA. But if that's something that you're interested in, shoot me a message, shoot me a DM. I can send you all the information. I can send you the NDA for you to sign. And once you sign it, then you can go ahead and I can send you all the information and the name of the company and all that stuff. Process development is key. Got to be hands-on with that. Absolutely. You got to do it first. You got to know how to do it first. I'm talking to I'm talking to someone and they're telling me that it's a multiple $1 million company. And it's just funny that the higher ups have no idea about what's going on internally in some of the processes. Now, that's probably a common thing, but I'm a firm believer that you got to know what's going on as the CEO. You got to know every single thing that's going on for the most part, right? The larger you scale, the harder it is, but that's why you have the people that report to you and then those people that report to them and so on and so forth so that you can get the skinny on exactly what's going on. So yeah, Founders Dinner was great. Next one will be in Tampa. It was awesome. I can't wait to do that again. The next big thing that I would say occurred this week is an interesting topic. If you're still watching, you're going to want to listen to this. It's an interesting topic. And by the way, also, if anyone has a podcast, I am on a podcast tour. If anybody would like for me to be on their podcast, I am open arms. I don't care how many viewers you got. I will be happy to be on your podcast. I'm looking to really spread my audience as much as possible. I don't care if it's public adjusting, claims, or the flower shop. I want to be on a podcast. I could find a way to provide value. But one of the things that has been the discussion is what we coached in the mastermind this week. Wait, before I get there, I'm very excited because we did a survey. We did a survey for the mastermind, and we went over some stuff. And if you're at all overwhelmed, if you're at all just way too much going on, you can't handle it, juggling too many things, I want you to really think about something. I want you to take, and this comes from a great book. It's called Built to Sell, I think is the book. Built to Sell. So you're going to want to get that book. We're in Naples, Florida. Where are you? I'm in Tampa. But yeah, hit me up. Send me a message. If you want to scale your business, if you're interested in purchasing another business, if you want to sell your business, I'm here. Richie, what up? What I'm going to say is, if you're overwhelmed and you can't figure out what your processes are, the best thing that you can do is take a 30,000-foot view of your business. Take a 30,000-foot view of what you do, of the thing that you do, and break it down into a process. Quite frankly, it shouldn't really be more than let's call it 3 to 8 steps. There should not be more than roughly 3 to 8 steps of what your process is all about. And then once you break that down, then you basically break that down into its own SOP. And then each of those steps in the process has its own SOP. But you start with those 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 steps of the 30,000-foot view of how you do what you do. And then you start transferring the stuff that you don't like in that part of the system, whatever that is. So we've got a pressure washing business that I know that I'm helping with. This is more like on the consulting side. And he's got a process. He's got a process of how he actually pressure washes a house. He's got a process of how he does his scheduling and how he goes out to the house and how he schedules it, how he gets a sale, how he gets a lead, and then how he actually does the job. You cannot hire somebody to do the quality of work that you do until you actually show them and tell them exactly how it's done. I've got a auto detailing company that I'm helping with as well. This guy is on the older side, and he's the best auto detailer that I've ever seen in my life. And he's got all in his head a step-by-step process is how he washes a car. And he's always had trouble hiring somebody to wash the cars the way he does. And he's always upset because they can't do it like him. And I said, well, you need to take all of that that's in your head and you need to put it on paper, and you need to write steps and list and checklist that they have to follow in order to do it. And then for the time being, you do the final sort of look over to make sure that it was done correctly. And then eventually they're going to do it exactly like you. Is it aligned with mission core values? If not, it's not working for you. I don't understand. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, agreed. No, core values. Yeah, that's something to live by right there, for sure. So if you're at all at a bottleneck, you can't figure it out, you don't know what you're doing, can't figure out what it is that you're just overwhelmed, is break it all down into a process and take that process and then teach somebody else how to do it. The best example is a video editor that I know that has a very unique process in how he does it, and he's overwhelmed. He can't take it because no one else does it like him. And we broke it down into a science, and he's literally already in weeks already taken on double the amount of work and is actually working less on the editing. It's pretty impressive. You're going to hear about him pretty soon. Anyway, so the other thing is that most of the people that watch my content are in the service industry. They're in some kind of service, whether it's public adjusting or mitigation or painting. We got a painter here. What else do we have in here? We had a painter here, probably mitigation company. We have a contractor, roofing contractor. We've got different service businesses, right? Well, the idea of productizing, taking a portion of your service and actually productizing it. Have you guys ever thought about this? Again, read the book Built to Sell. It's going to really make you actually think outside the box. But in whatever service industry you're in, normally what happens is, what do people do? They call you, they want to find out about the service, and they need a roadmap as to how exactly the service is done and how to do it. What if you actually took that road mapping and actually charged for it? Charge for it. So if you're some kind of agency, like a marketing agency, and you take on a new client, the first thing you do is you sit with them, you find out where their current marketing strategy is, where is it that they want to go, and you put together an entire marketing strategy for them, which in turn you do it for free, and then you do it for free sometimes as a sales pitch so that you could bring them on board and actually get paid for the services that you do, or you use that document or whatever it is that you put together to help you in developing the actual package that you're going to sell. That's, let's say, marketing. But what if I told you that you can do it, if you really think about it, with any part of your service? What part of the service that you already provide do you feel is the most valuable? So again, we've got a lot of public adjusters that listen to my show. We're broad in the audience, but we're still at the probably 95% public adjusters, 90% when you include contractors and stuff. And well, what part of public adjusting do you feel is the most valuable? Number one, you already do every single time you do a claim. Number two, that you can sell, that you can turn into a product and you can sell. So there's estimating, there's reviewing a policy, there's putting together a narrative of what you feel happened, there's just going out and just checking to make sure that it's an actual good claim, there's the follow-up process with the insurance company. There's so many things that we do as public adjusters that none of us, technically, we all provide not for free, but on a contingent that the claim actually gets paid. So I think I'm going to bring up something here that could be game-changing, mind-changing, industry-saving. What if you took a part of the public adjusting process and charged a client a flat fee for that process? Inspections before storm season. Great job, claims coach. That's the good one too, because if you develop a product from your service that you could actually put together as a package and sell that for $1,000, $500, $2,500, what does that mean? Now you're actually getting cash flow into your business. What I have learned over the years and what I had to suffer through in public adjusting is that unpredictable cash flow disallows you to ultimately scale your business. You cannot scale your business if you don't know how much money is coming in or when it's going to come in. And that's the problem with claims. The two biggest problems with claims, sure, you're an experienced public adjuster. I've been doing this for 16 years. I can walk into a house and I can know if a claim is worth it or not, but I can't tell you exactly how much it's going to get paid to the penny. It's impossible. And I can't tell you exactly when it's going to get paid either, because I could put together the most amazing claim package and put it all there, and the insurance company can still tell me to go pound sand. And then I got to go to litigation. It could take a year or two to get paid. So unpredictable cash flow and unpredictable timeline as to when you're going to get it. But if you could take a portion of the public adjusting service and actually package it and then ultimately sell it to the client, now you receive immediate cash flow. And if it's for a standard price, that's the same, again, $1,500, $2,500, $5,000, whatever it is. Maybe it's just the estimate. You charge for that. Now you know exactly how much your product is. You know you have a goal that you have to hit on how many you have to sell. And if you hit this much, then you could pay all your expenses and you have an understanding. The next thing after you come up with this actual product is you have to decide what kind of, not decide, you have to not invent, but you have to think about now an innovative way that you could actually get recurring revenue. What camera? I'm looking at two cameras. Recurring revenue. Recurring revenue. What is recurring revenue? Some kind of subscription model that you could implement into your public adjusting business or any business. Because again, I'm talking to not a landscape company, a pressure washing business, an auto detailer, and I'm also talking with a business that dumpster rentals. And I'm implementing all this stuff in their companies. But public adjusting is something I've been doing for so long. So one thing I came up with a long time ago is called a pre-loss risk assessment. The pre-loss risk assessment I would offer for free for only associations and commercial building owners. Why? I'm going to go and I'm going to look at your property. I'm going to inspect the property. I'm going to take a bunch of photos to make sure that we see all of the pre-existing damage that's there, just in case you file a claim. And if they file a claim and they want to say that it's pre-existing damage, we have proof in our report that that pre-existing damage doesn't exist. And we'll do a review of your policy, make sure that you have a good policy and everything is good to go, in the hopes that if a claim does happen, you will come to me for this super gigantic large loss. That ain't how you do business, people, because let's face it, you're offering this service for free, so you ain't getting any money. And God forbid, unless you get a fucking contract signed, guess what? They're not going to probably hire you when the actual storm rolls in. But what if you actually charge for it? So the recurring part that I've been thinking about for the public adjusting industry that could really work is some kind of like small subscription model where it's like, I don't know, $9.99, like $10 a month, $15 a month, where you keep a file in-house. You go, you inspect the property, you take a look at all the photos, you look at all the pre-existing damages, you look at all the contents, you take a nice photo report, you develop the whole thing, you do a policy review to make sure that their policy is up to date, you save all of this, you put it away, and then I don't know, you return every 6 months, you return every year, maybe you create a little Google Drive portal, we'll call it a portal, but it ain't no fucking portal, that they can upload any kind of repairs or anything like that. You stay on top of it. You have an admin. You have a healthy home checkup. I like that, Rico. You could hire an admin in the Philippines that could just do like a monthly check of, hey, just want to check in to make sure that everything's okay. But what is it? You get, let's say, $15 a month. And I'm telling you $15 a month because of the AC company that I pay $15 a month, that I'm a member of their subscription program, that I don't even know what I get. But I know for the last 2 months, for the last 2 years, I have been paying $15 a month for a membership that I believe includes them coming if there's any kind of minor repairs. But I believe that's up to a certain limit that I'll have to actually pay for the repairs. But I pay $15 a month. $15 a month may not seem like a lot. But if you multiply that by 12 months, but you also multiply that by 100, 200, 500, 1,000 clients, you're talking some serious, predictable cash flow. Predictable. So you know exactly, unless they cancel their subscription, which at a price of $14.99, $9.99, people forget about it. How many subscriptions? There's literally business models surrounded around finding the subscriptions that you don't even know about that you pay every single month. At a $9.99, $12.99, $14.99 price point. Yeah, and you actually provide value. I think that's important too, is actually providing the value, but you start to get some predictable income. So some of the things that we were shooting around in the mastermind is, like Claims Coach was saying here, is policy review, pre-hurricane inspection. You could throw that, by the way, as an add-on. Besides the 14.99, we'll also come here before hurricane season to make sure everything is ship-shape. But if you're going to be successful as a public adjuster, I'm telling you right now, you're not going to be able just to rely on the old business model of just signing a claim and waiting 3 years to get paid, or waiting 6 months to get paid, or waiting a year to get paid, not even knowing how much it's going to settle for. Because even then, you put an estimate together, and I mean, let's face it, as public adjusters, ain't no surprise here. You're ultimately trying to settle for at least a percentage of your estimate, not the full value of your estimate. So it's not like you're putting together an estimate and you know that money's coming in. It could be a terrible settlement of 50% of your estimate, or it could be a great settlement of 90% of your estimate, but still you're probably going to have to give up a little bit to actually get paid on that claim. So I don't know. It's just something that, again, it sparked my mind, reading Built to Sell. If you haven't read that book, great book. It's a nonfiction book behind an actual story, which is really cool, about a business owner, a marketing agency, who ultimately decides that he's just too overwhelmed, doesn't want to deal with it anymore, and just wants to sell his business. And he basically gets I think it's a family friend who becomes sort of his mentor, business coach, who really takes him through this entire process that I brought you through, to raise the value of your business. Because that's the problem that I'm thinking about, right? If you have a public adjusting firm and you strictly rely on your public adjusters that are all contingent based, they're all independent contractors, they're not locked into you for anything, and you're out there signing claims, your business is worth complete dog shit. The reason why is, as soon as you take yourself out of that business, you have trouble with potentially losing your independent contractors because they're not locked into you for anything. And now the business is really nothing. A buyer has no interest in doing that unless he's able to really rehire everybody. But there's no value in that business if, once you're gone, it's not a business anymore. But if you develop a team of admins, an operations manager of some sort, and some actual recurring predictable revenue into your business, it now increases the value of that business and makes it more sellable. And also, the last thing I'll say is, the more that you are able to implement these things of predictable revenue generating activities into your business, and you can pull yourself out of it because of that money that's coming in, and you could hire salespeople now, by the way, to easily sell that product that may or may not even have to be licensed as public adjusters, because it is a product that they're selling. But that's another thing that we can talk about. The more you pull yourself away, the less chance you have of having to stay on if somebody does actually buy your business. Because that's the other issue. If you're a business owner and you want to sell your business, there's a seller's note, and there's a lot of different things that go into the selling of a business that you may be required to be on there in the business for quite a while before you actually even receive the full sales price of your business, because of how important you are to the running of that business. You ultimately want to make yourself as least important as possible by implementing all of the right things into that business as soon as possible. So that was a big idea that we had in the mastermind, is sparking something in the brain, in the mind, that could ultimately make the public adjusters in our group think of, okay, all right, it's not just about signing claims and settling them, getting 10%, 15, 20%. This is an actual business that I'm running that I could potentially sell. Because what I like to say, my new line, you're going to hear this a lot from me: a business that you can sell is a great business to own. Write that down. A business that you can sell is a great business to own, because a valuable, sellable business is a business that has products that sell, recurring revenue, and an owner that is not necessary because of everything that's been implemented with the processes, procedures, the marketing strategy, the leads flow coming in, and the sales team. The reason why that is a great business to own is because it's running like a machine, and it's also 10 times valuable now. The reason wear and tear works out as a denial is because we don't have a product that establishes exactly what the wear rate is. Ooh. Now, the big idea that I'm trying to say with the productized part of your service is that it is just indeed a part of your service. One thing that I don't want people to think is like, oh, I have to start a whole other business now. No, it is part of the business. And it's also part of the service that you already do. So keep that in mind. You want to make sure that it's a part of the service that you already provide. So it's not anything extra that you're doing. You just literally rip a part of the service out of what you already do and turn that into a product. So that you're not doing any more work, but you're getting injected cash flow into your business immediately. I hope that there are some new public adjusters out here that are just starting out, that are listening to this and are taking this in, because this is not the norm. This is not what I'm talking about. Is not common in the industry. I do believe it exists, but it is not common. Now, fears that you may have. Number one, fear of missing out on the percentage. Very true. Common fear to have. Understand. First question people always get, well, shit, I can make so much more money if I charge 20%. Very good idea. Yes. Of course, you're right. I could make so much more money if I charge 20%. Yes, you are right. But we go back to the fact that not only do you not know exactly how much you're going to get paid, the worst part is you don't know when. What's more important? 2,500, 3,500, 5,000, whatever it is. Selling 4 of those right now, or waiting a year or 2 or 3 for that 20% on that claim. And that's 20%, by the way, mainly in Florida. And when it's a hurricane, it's 10%. And you got to deal with the deductible as well. Many other states are 10%, are capped at 10%. Like, there's just, again, I want to also preface the fact that you need to look at your local state to see how the laws work on how you could actually implement something like this. But if you want to scale a business with predictable cash flow and immediate cash flow injecting in, you just productize the business and go all in. And then think of the recurring model that you could implement so that you could every month get a stream of business. Because as public adjusters, what are we? I mean, we are, we're experts in policy, and we're damage experts too, right? Like, we're very, very good at understanding exactly what damage looks like, and whether or not it will actually be covered under the current insurance policy that someone has. That is a skill, that is an expertise that we are licensed to do, and we can provide that information for monetary value and money in return. So the fear of losing out on the 10%, that's a big one. Okay. I always go back to the fear of success, that it might actually work, because you're too busy holding on to the old business model of waiting for that contingent. Okay. So you fear like, holy shit, this might actually work if I actually go all in on it. I do believe that you have to be careful with a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I'll sell some products and I'll also charge a percentage. If you really want to be successful at it, I would recommend that you talk to your local lawmakers and APIAs and find out if this is something you can go all in on, because that will be the valuable business that will be able to sell, or you'll actually love to run. And then I had another fear that I came up with, probably the fear of judgment, right? You're trying something new, something different that is just unheard of. I think it's a phenomenal idea though. But I've talked to several people about it, and most people just think that I'm crazy, and that's fine. If you're not doing something that people think that you're fucking crazy. I was literally with some friends the other day, and they were asking me about marathons and my morning routine and what time I go to sleep and what time I wake up and the books that I read, and asking me about what programs I'm watching, and I'm not watching any programs, asking me about sports result, and I don't know any results of the sports. And I swear they looked at me like I was an alien. These are like close people to me. And they were looking at me like I was some kind of fucking alien. And then I realized that that's great. That's good. That means I am now beginning to get to that next level of complete separation from the status quo, because no one wants to be the status quo. Not inside, not deep inside. People got to look at you like you're crazy. And firm, a PM, preventive maintenance. Yep, approach might make sense. Check sinks, check fire risk, check roofs, proactive calls to owners. As a public adjuster, just try to keep the same company. I mean, you guys could start another company. You guys do whatever the hell you want, because obviously we are a little bit limited with public adjuster licenses. But yeah, prolific mogul. I'm glad you agree. Yeah, they thought I was crazy. And this idea that I have for public adjusters, people think that I'm crazy too. And if you're just joining now, you didn't hear the idea, well, you better wait until I upload this so you could watch this again. This is by far the most valuable live that I've ever done. So I just gave away some really, really great information. Stuff that I only give away in the mastermind that people pay us for. But I think it's so valuable that everybody should know about it. Productizing your service, taking a portion of your service that you provide, pulling it out and charging for it, whatever that may be. Usually it's some kind of roadmap or some kind of, I'll tell you, like for me, for what I'm doing now. So again, for those of you that don't know, I am a licensed business broker as well. I'm not working as many claims myself anymore. My team's working claims. We still bring in claims. We still do that. But for me, myself, for me, I'm going all in with our group public adjuster mastermind, and also with brokering business deals and mergers and acquisitions. So with that said, one of the things that I'm providing is called, I'd be worried if they didn't call me crazy. Yes, exactly. One of the things that I'm providing as a business broker, if anyone is interested, is a value clarity report. What most business brokers do is they, for free, let's say Ant Firm or anybody here is interested in selling their business. The first thing they do is they go to a broker because they want to know the value of the business. And every broker in the history of brokering does not charge for this. They do the valuation. They ask for the 3 years of profit and loss. They ask for the 3 years of tax returns. They put together a valuation on a spreadsheet. They give the valuation to the client and they say, all right, what do you want to do? Do you want to sell? Maybe it's not worth it now. And that's it. Sometimes they decide to sell and they use that broker. Sometimes they're not ready to sell yet. They have cold feet. Or sometimes they just go and they hire a different broker. And all that time is lost. That needs to be charged for. I am going to charge for it. But obviously, I'm going to make it 10x the value. So for $2,500, if you are at all interested in knowing the value of their company and whether or not it's a company that you should sell or not, you could schedule a one-to-one with me. We'll basically talk for an hour. I'm going to just find out a bunch of information, and I'm also going to find out the goals on how much you actually want to sell it for. I'm going to request all the financials. And then after that 1 hour call, if you decide that you want this value clarity report, you're going to have to pay me $2,500. But with that, it's fucking gold. I just provided one. I'm putting one together. I'm going to provide it next week for the pressure washing company. It is going to have a breakdown of all the financials. It's going to have the exact EBITDA amount. It's going to have the exact salary discretionary earnings amount. It's going to have the exact sales price that they can sell it for today if they were to sell it. But I also know his goal. His goal is to sell it for $5 million. I'm going to give him the 5-year roadmap on what he needs to do over the next 5 years to get his business to a value of $5 million. We are also going to do a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats based on my conversation with him. And I'm also going to provide him yearly goals that he needs to hit over the next 5 years to take him all the way to where he wants to get to, is that $5 million. It's going to come in a very nice package, and it's going to be super valuable. It's going to basically give him the blueprint on what he needs to do and the things he needs to implement into his business to get it up to $5 million. If that's not $2,500 worth of value, I don't know what is, but I won't do it until he actually pays me to do it. I will have the 1 hour conversation for now, but ultimately, if he wants the actual product, he needs to pay for it. And if he wants my help, that's where the recurring revenue comes in, where he's going to have to pay me on a per month basis to basically walk him through the entire process of getting to where he wants to get to. If that sparks any ideas, that's okay too. But it's unheard of in the brokering industry, and it's something that I'm going to provide, and you're going to start to hear a lot more about in the coming years, in the coming days, and the coming weeks, and the coming months. But yeah, I'm pumped. I'm pumped. I hope you guys are pumped too. Captain Bono is on. Let's go, Giuliano. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. It's all time to go next level. It's time to go next level. get comfortable feeling uncomfortable. Last night, I was very nervous and very uncomfortable meeting new people in a very nice restaurant, Capital Grill. And it just turned out great. It just turned out great. You have to put yourself in positions that make you feel uncomfortable. Really. That's really what it's all about. Because that's how you go next level. So yeah. All right. I'm going to end it on a high note. That's pretty much it. What else we got? I am here in Orlando. If anybody wants to come see me in Orlando, I'm here. I'm at the SeaWorld Renaissance. Beautiful place. Got the wife and kid coming tonight. Great little area for the kids here. I'm here for the IBBA, International Business Broker Association Conference, to meet other brokers. That should be fun. That's the other thing about brokers, man. It's funny. They all wear these fucking suits, man. I don't understand it. I don't know. There's like a dinner thing tonight. I don't know. I may wear a jacket with a t-shirt, but I ain't gonna go more than that. And I'm really thinking about my white sneakers. I'm just gonna be me. But they all dress the same. I'm looking at the whole broker thing yesterday when I'm on my way out to the founders dinner, and they're all like getting together, and they all look the same. Yeah, you got to stand out, and I'm probably gonna stand out, and that's okay. I'm happy with that. Anyway, Business Broker Association, I'm excited about that. I'm excited just to learn more. I don't know enough about business brokering to really, I know about business, I know about scaling businesses, but the actual brokering, I'm still learning. But it's something that I'm going to learn. I got a lot of resources that I'm reading. I might even join a coaching program, actually. Yes, very much so. And let's fucking go. Captain Bono, I'm proud of you too. And also Mr. Pocket Square. I don't know about that, Josh. Josh, I'm very proud of you too, my friend. I know you're going to come up with something amazing to take you and your family on a whole other level. So I'm here in Orlando. If anybody wants to come visit, I'm down to we have a little event tonight, but I don't know. This hotel is nice. But yeah, no, we're good. We're good. All is good. Yes, 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 yes. Let's go. All right, guys, I'm going to log off. That's what we got. I'm going to go to the pool. That's what I'm going to do because I'm here today and it's all these courses. But guess what? I've already taken all the courses that I got to take. I found out this morning that all I have to do is actually attend the conference. And the conference doesn't officially start until tomorrow because today's all courses. So thank God I remembered that I had to have this live because I got a notification. If not, I would have forgot. But I'm here now, but not anymore because I'm about to hang up so that I can go to the pool and I can show off the six-pack. Let's go. Let's go. All right, guys. I hope you had an amazing week. Hope you have an amazing weekend. Take a break, relax, chill out, spend time with your loved ones. Enjoy that time. Cherish it. Stay in the moment so that you could be recharged and energized for next week. All right, guys. We'll see you later. Let's see if I can end this stream over here and then end this stream over here. Later, guys.